It's Dale D'Antoni here. Welcome to the Sofa Sessions. D'Antoni, Wines.
Friends and family, welcome back to the Sofa Sessions podcast. Yeah, we're here. This is another solo episode. I just want to come out and say, thank you guys so much for the continued support, for all the likes, for all the views, for all the comments, whether they be hate or whether they be love. I actually had somebody comment something today. It was another one of those freaking let's start a podcast ... And usually I really try to refrain, and I do my best at refraining from responding to hate with hate. But I looked at the dude's profile, and there was a video of him dancing, grown man. He was dancing on TikTok. So I did the same thing. I put in quotations, yeah, this dance video is going to go on TikTok. And then, he was like, thank you for the view. And I said, touche, but I got 2 comments from him and a view. So, I mean, who's winning? Who's getting boosted? But, I just want to thank you guys so much for the likes, for the comments, for the support. The past couple guests have been awesome. They have been amazing. It's been really fun. I've been filming back to back to back. I've been filming almost an episode every week, except for the week I did with Banjo. I was out of town, but no excuses, hashtag. Also, I still haven't made clips for that, and I do feel bad, Banjo, if you're listening. You're probably not listening, but if you are listening, I'm sorry that I haven't made them. It's just takes me a lot of time to do editing, and it's hard to get in the mind space to do it. The past few guys that have been comedians, and they have really inspired me to maybe put more effort into comedy. I feel like I do make a lot of people laugh just with wit. I don't really have any setup jokes. I don't think I have any setup jokes. I mean, I'm trying to think of one, and it's just a blur, or it's just a blank. I feel like that happens a lot with me. Like, I'll think of something and be like, oh, I'm really good at this, and then when I try to explain it, it like goes away. So I don't really know any jokes right now. I mean, I do have probably a few stories that I could tell that would kind of be funny. But they've inspired me to maybe take comedy a little serious, to kind of look into that type of to maybe kind of look into that future and make it like a possibility or something like that. So the guys like Cedric, EJ, Tommy Archer, I like really appreciate what they do, and getting up there and telling jokes, and whatever happens after that, whether they laugh or they don't laugh. I don't think any of them have ever gotten booed. I mean, I doubt it, but then again, you hear all the time like comedians bomb. So that's what I'm like mainly scared of. Like, I don't want to get up there and then bomb, but like it's bound to happen no matter what. Like, even if I do something really good, I feel like, it really depends on the crowd. And I just watched a lot of comedians, like a lot of comedian podcasts, and like maybe not their podcast, but like what's going on with their podcast, like the drama and stuff. Like, I'm a big fan of Bert Kreischer and Theo Von. A lot of people hate Bert Kreischer. They think he's annoying. They think he's not funny. They think he's just very narcissistic, egotistical, whatever. But I think he's hilarious. I've always been a fan of his. Ever since I found him like a few years ago or whatever. It was the Machine story, obviously. I went to see him live. I think that's him and James Gregory are the only comedians I've ever seen live, and I'm really big into comedy. So big fan of Bert Kreischer. I think he's hilarious. Every episode he's been on with Joe Rogan, I've listened to it. And I just think he's funny, and I think his stories are funny. I don't think a lot of people say like, oh, his stories are embellished, or like, he makes stuff up. But it's like, what comedian tells the truth 100% of the time? Like, obviously this stuff is going to be fake. Obviously it's going to be contorted a little bit. Obviously it's going to be a little bit exaggerated. Like, these stories aren't 100% real. Like, there are some bits and pieces. Like, it's based upon a true story, it's like based on historical events. Like, when you see like a war movie or something, and it's like based on historical events, and you're sitting there like which parts are real, And then I wanted to get into this. I'm not going to lie. Like, I also am a huge fan of like Theo Vaughn and his podcast and his comedy. I listen. He's probably the podcast I listen to the most. It used to be Joe Rogan's, but I don't know. I kind of fell out of listening to his. I don't know. He has a bunch of people on that I just have no clue what they're talking about, and I don't know. It's just not entertaining. But like Theo Vaughn will have on people that like a lunch lady or like a carnival worker or like a mall cop, and I listen to every single one. I'm not gonna lie, and he like the way he does it when it's people that are not like famous like that. He like takes them as serious as he does with the celebrities that are on or like the comics that are on or the artists that are on. That's something I really like I really want to do and like I really want to strive to do, and that's what I like try to do. I feel like every episode I take as serious as like if I had on like Riff Raff or something, like I would take them as serious and like put them on a pedestal as much as I could. And also with Theo, I definitely look up to him and his podcasting. Like if I'm kind of trying to figure something out or I don't know what to do, like for those solo episodes, for instance, I'll like listen to his or watch his or see how he does it. And I mean, that's just kind of how I do it. Or like the titles, like if I have any questions, I'll like mentally ask him because I can't ask him, obviously. I mean, I've emailed him a few times. So like, Theo, if you're listening, I would love to have you on. I would love to have a conversation with you. But sometimes I just have these questions about podcasting, man. It's like, I feel like I don't really, I feel like I don't know anybody that is hitting hundreds of thousands of views, because like I want to turn it into that. And I don't want it to be like just another podcast or whatever. Like, I freaking hate that. So like when I have questions or like I think of something that like, oh, how would this work? Or like, how do I do this? I always look up to Theo or like look at his stuff and be like, how does he do this? And then kind of try and figure out it from there. I tell everybody that, like, I don't tell them that my podcast is like Theo Vaughn's. I just tell them that I take inspiration from his. And I'm not trying to copy him at all. Like, I've like thought like, dude, I wish I could think like him, and I wish I could sit here and like make the similarities that he does or like say the crazy things that he does. But like, I've tried it. I can't freaking do it, dude. I don't know what it is. He has like this special thing in his brain where it's just like, oh, reminds me of this, and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be off the wall but really funny. But yeah, I like, Theo, if you are listening, I would love to have you on. Come down to Augusta, Georgia. Let's have a podcast. You could meet my two cats. You could see where I film. I film out of my house. Literally film in my living room. I edit all my stuff on like the what's supposed to be the kitchen table. Like, we don't even have a kitchen table. We have to eat on the ground or like on the sofa. But yeah, if you are listening, obviously I'll make like a little clip out of this and maybe send it to him. But like, yeah, if you are listening, love to have you on. This is a formal invitation. If you would want to be on, just, I mean, send me your availability. Send me your, I mean, you can send me your price. I'll probably get scared of it. But yeah, send me your price. Send me your availability. I mean, if it even works, you could have like a show in Augusta or something. But yeah, I would love to have you on, man. I look up to you a lot. And I think, I mean, you're definitely one of the top podcasts right now as of late. Dude, the freaking guests that he has on are just insane. He like knows everybody. He had on, let me see what I know he had like Post Malone on. He had Donald Trump on recently, and I'm so glad that video did better than freaking Logan Paul's, because I'm not a fan of Logan Paul. But then again, I'm just some random dude on the internet, so who really cares? This past weekend with Theo Vaughn. All right, let's see. All right, so he had on Bobby Lee, big comedian. I'm about to finish that one. He had Post Malone, Dermot Kennedy. Then he had Donald Trump. He had Bernie Sanders on. He had GSP. He had Tommy Lee from freaking Motley Crue. Then he had two people on that are like in the same hemisphere, I guess. He had somebody on from Palestine, whatever, and he had somebody on from Israel to tell their sides of the freaking war or whatever. So like, and then he had a mall cop, and it's just Nick Swartzen, KSI. I don't really care for KSI, but that's cool. He had Ed Sheeran on, the Suicide Boys, investigative journalist. Then he had Luke Holmes, Joey Diaz, school lunch lady, Sal Vulcano. I mean, it's just like the range and depth that he has is something that I look up to and that I just want to freaking have. Like I thought about asking my ninth grade English teacher to be on the podcast because I think that would be an amazing episode. And if you think so too, let me know. Because she's probably my favorite teacher of all time. I mean, I don't think I have another favorite. I don't think so. Like, she was my favorite. I remember one time in class, I was playing with tech decks because, like, in ninth grade, I wasn't getting no kisses. I wasn't, doing the dirty with women. Sitting there playing with my tech decks, and she took them away from me. She also spotted out that I had ringworm one time, bro. I swam in this, like, crazy, nasty pond just for fun, and I think I got ringworm from it, and then she pointed it out. And then I think she could tell that I reacted weird to it, so she was like, oh, never mind. But yeah, Miss Martin, you're amazing. I wonder if you still, we made a video, a Romeo and Juliet video, and I dressed up as a female. Not the only time I dressed up as a female, though. But yeah, she like shows it to every class every year or something. I don't know if she still does that. She said that a couple years after that because people were like, oh yeah, you're the guy that was like on that video or whatever. So like, dude, I've been making videos forever, And sometimes I think about that because like I always feel like I'm behind or whatever. And I feel like, dude, you haven't really been doing this for a long time. Like you've only been doing this for like a couple years or whatever. And then I look back and I'm like, dude, I've been making videos since I was like 12. Bro, like how you'll find somebody that like blows up on YouTube, like I don't know, just like anybody, like Dean's World, like he blew up with his imperialism video and he's still doing amazing, crushing it. Go check him out. And like, you would think, oh, he's only had that one channel, Dean's World, but he said he's had channels so many different times, and I feel like I've done that too. Like I've made videos so many different times, whether they failed or what, but I've just always had like a passion for creating or passion for editing or filming or whatever it is. I don't know if I have a passion for editing. I really don't know. Like last week I had Gary on, Silent Gary, the filmer, behind the scenes filmer. Amazing, by the way. Hope to work with him in the future. And like he was saying, like, I have to be in the headspace to edit, man. And that's so true. Like, who wants to sit there and like watch themselves for another 4 or 5 hours? It's like, dang, gum, man. I feel like I get scared looking in the mirror. I don't want to freaking see myself so much because I freaking see myself so much like editing or whatever. That's just crazy. And if you're like a podcaster and you watch your own podcast, then you're crazy, bro. I'm not going to lie. You're crazy. I saw this dude in the gym the other day, and he was squatting, and he was smiling. And for a split second, I kind of thought he was gay because, like, who likes squatting? Like, who likes working out legs and smiles? Like, who smiles during them? Usually I'm, like, freaking frowning or, like, mad or, like, crying or something. But, like, that dude was squatting. He was smiling. He might have been gay. I don't know. I mean, that's just him, though. I mean, I don't even know who he is. I've never met him before, but I was just saying. Maybe he was gay. Maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I'm not going to judge him for it. It's not June, but, we'll talk about that later, Yeah, really, shout out to Theo Vaughn as much as I could. Let me see. Does this thing still work? Okay, yeah. Shout out to Theo Vaughn, baby. Shout out to Theo Vaughn. I'm kind of surprised I still had that up. Shout out to Theo Vaughn, bro. I'd love to have you on. I'll send you my address right now. Also, at the bottom of his like podcast page, there's like a little pamphlet you could fill out where it's like, do you have what it takes to be on the podcast or whatever? And you can like send in your information or whatever. And it's like, why do you think you should be on the podcast? And I thought about so many times like filling that out, like just because, because like, why not? Because he's had like a lunch lady on. Like, ooh, why not have like a small podcast around and we talk about podcasting, but not getting paid thousands of dollars to do it. That would be very insightful for his viewers. I feel like because he has people that listens and they like, oh, Theo Vaughn, he's a comedian. He does podcasting and all this stuff. He makes like thousands of dollars, and you have like Brandon on or whatever, and he freaking makes $0. He makes $0 from all this stuff, and he has to do everything himself. You know, I mean, I think that would be a great freaking insightful and amazing episode that his viewers could really take home with them. You know, but I took some of that from. So I've been sending out emails to people, to like celebrities, not like big time celebrities like Kim Kardashian or like Sabrina Carpenter, Kim Kardashian, but I've been sending them out, and like I typed in like Chat GPT, like I'm a podcaster reaching out to somebody who could potentially be on. Oh yeah, I said that. Yeah, I talked about it in the last solo episode. I talked about Joe Gatto. He did respond. His manager responded, and he said, these, because I mentioned like he's gonna be in the area. Frick, I freaking missed his show. I just realized that I missed his freaking show. But he said, yeah, that won't work. And I was like, what the fudge? Why not? You know? I didn't say that. I just thought that. But he's like, the date won't work or whatever. And then that was just kind of all he said. I don't think he said anything else. So I sent him an email. I was like, okay, that's perfectly fine. What are the normal rates for podcast appearance and stuff like that? Because like I'm just trying to learn, bro. I'm just trying to figure out all this stuff. You know, I'm a year in, hardcore a year in, and I just want to know how this works. I want to know how much money I'm gonna have to be spending on guests, okay? And he hasn't responded. And that was probably like a month ago. So I have yet to really find like a legit answer. I did like reach out to Fly Rich Double one time. I think I mentioned that on the podcast too, and they wanted to charge me like $2,500 for it. I think that's a little crazy. I mean, I love Fly Rich Double. I think he's really funny, and he has some good music out there. But I just don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think he's from Mississippi, so like he'd be flying all that stuff. But like on top of, I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works, man. I mean, if he's really like, if he has stuff back to back to back to back where it's hard for him to take off, and he's taking off for this, then yeah, I would get it. But I doubt he's filming or like making music like 24/7, 7 days a week. You know, I don't know though. I could be wrong. I think YouTube has been like shadow banning me. I don't know why. It's like before, like two months ago, I would say maybe 3. I would be getting like 40,000 views per week because of like the shorts that I was posting. Because almost every short was getting like 2,000 views, 5,000 views. Some even got up to like 10, 11,000 views, right? And then all of a sudden they dropped. Like, and I would post those. Like, here's how it would go. I would post one, it would get like 200 views, a few likes. I would post another one. It did worse than the first one. I'll post the third one. The third one would get like 2,000 views. So I was like, okay, well, I'll post another one. And that would go to like 5,000 or whatever. And then I'll post another one and it'll get 0 views, right? So there was like some sort of pattern, you know, like you could kind of pick and choose like which words you want to put because you knew that a certain amount or like a certain video would go viral, or not viral, but it would get more views than 0 or like 200, right? So now I've been posting almost every day on YouTube Shorts, more than I did but when I was getting those views, right? And they've been getting 0 views every single time. They've been getting 0 views, or they get like 2 views, and I'll get like 1 comment, but it's like somebody I know. So it's like, what are they putting into this YouTube algorithm? Okay, like are they just hating on me? Are they shadow banning me? What did I do? I didn't show my butt cheek on camera. I didn't show my booty hole on camera. Like dang, like a youngin' just trying to make it out here for real, twin. Let's lock in, facts, bro. But yeah, I think they've been like shadow banning me or something because like I was hitting like 40,000 views in a week. Now I'm at like 3,600. I'm like, oh fudge, I'm done for. But yeah, I don't know. They'll come back up. I'm sure it comes and goes, you know, all season, on season, all that stuff. You know, people probably just doing stuff for the summer anyway, into summer. I don't know. People watching football. I don't know what it could be. I wish I was smart with that kind of stuff. I mean, I know enough to like get in to the club, but like I'm not sitting in VIP. You know, I'm I'm sitting in the GA, the general admission. You know, I'm sitting like 3-4 rows back. You know, I'm probably not even in a row. I'm in standing room, in the nosebleed. I mean, that's probably where I'm at. I mean, I know enough to where like an average person be like, oh man, you could be like a marketer or something. Like, no, I couldn't. I just I know a little bit more than the average person. That's what I feel like I am. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. You know, I feel like I know a little bit of a lot of stuff, and it makes people think, oh, he's really smart. He knows what he's doing. But it's like on the top, I'm calm, bro. Above water, I'm cool. You know, we chilling. We throwing waters back. We throwing Nosses back. You know, but like under the water, you know, I'm flailing like a mother trucker. You know, like what's that? Like what is it? Like a geese? A goose? A guess? No. Like a duck or something? Like above ground, you know, they're all, well, you're just sitting, floating. But under, they're paddling like a mother trucker. But yeah, and that's kind of been hurting my feelings a little bit. I feel bad because like the views are down, and I'm like, what the fudge? And I feel like also, well, I don't know. I feel like, you know, certain guests, they do good. Some guests don't, you know. And I think that just, I mean, I guess that's just how podcasts are, you know. Not every episode's going to hit, for me, not every episode's going to hit 50 views. And if they do, you know, I'm on tier 2, you know. I'm still hitting the mark of like, quotation marks, let's start a podcast, or like not everyone should start a podcast, whatever. Like that's where I was at, you know. But now I'm hitting 50 views per episode, you know. I'm a little, you know, I'm getting taken a little bit serious. Like obviously the people who have a bigger following, in turn, majority of the time they are gonna have the more views, and then people like vice versa, people with less views are gonna get less of following. But I also think it's just boiled down to my consistency for making clips and just like marketing it, because like when I'm at work and stuff, like I don't want to be on my phone as much, and then I'm already busy during the work day. Like I don't want to sit there, and I know it takes like 30 seconds to post, but I'm just sometimes too lazy and I don't want to do it, you know. But like I think I used this before, the terminology or the picture of it was like, think of, you know, you're at a casino, and then if you hit on red, the little circle spin thing, you throw the ball, hit on red, you win. If you hit on black, you lose. But like it's an infinite number of spins, and you're never gonna go bankrupt doing it. But you know, that's you know, something you can think of if you're not sure about posting on social media. But yeah, I think I've just been kind of consistent. I think definitely my consistency will pick up in the fall/winter, just because I'm going to be outside, but it's not going to be almost 100 degrees and 100% humidity every day. Also this week, well, okay, as of recording this, I'm filming this on a Friday, the day the Gary episode came out. All this week except Monday so far, I have been going to the gym. Monday, we were on the way back from our job. It was probably, we stayed out there for a little bit over time or whatever, and then we were on the way back, and our freaking tire blows. 2 miles from the shop. So we stayed out there for maybe half an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So by that time, it was already getting dark, bro. Like the sun was already setting by the time I was getting home. So we're losing daylight, guys. We're going into fall. We're going into fall. We're going into Halloween. Then we're going into Thanksgiving. We're going into December. All right, we're going to Christmas. These are the last couple months. If you're falling behind on your New Year's resolutions, it's time to, you know, jump back on those and get ahead of those. I don't even know if I had any, to be honest. I really don't think I did, because I knew if I'd you know, stated them, I would never do them. But yeah, I think you know, it's time to get serious. We're coming down in the last few months of 2024, and that's a little insane. I just feel like 2024 just started. A lot has happened in 2024. I'll probably do, you know, like a review episode like I did this year or whatever, and or, you know, whenever I did it, I don't know. I'll probably do another one, but yeah, it's time to, you know, hit our goals or whatever, and stay consistent. You know, that's all I gotta say. Hopefully, in turn, with staying consistent, I hope that, you know, I could, get the podcast up to a better tier, and kind of making the production a little bit better. I just want to get the 3 cameras. I've been talking about that for a while, but it's just trying to find the right camera is hard, and then having to buy them. It's just expensive. I'm gonna be honest, and I don't make that much money to where I can just drop a couple grand on some cameras that might work, might not work. That's another thing. I'm scared I'm gonna buy the wrong thing, and then I'm gonna buy the wrong thing, and I'm stuck there with a $500 camera, $1,000 camera, $2,000 camera, and it doesn't work how I want it to. But yeah, I eventually want to get the 3 camera setup. I think I will feel a little bit better. I think I will feel better with it. I feel better now. I think the production is good. But I can tell when I'm going to make clips that sometimes just the quality isn't there. The quality that I want, the quality that I like is not there. And I'm sure that's a little annoying to watch on YouTube. We definitely do have more views on YouTube than like Apple Podcasts or like Spotify or Google Pod, whatever. The views are definitely better on YouTube. So like I want to, cater to that instead of, I think the audio is fine. I'll be honest. I think the audio is good. This Rodecaster Pro 2 is, done me good. So I'm not going to complain about that. Yeah, I just want a better camera. I still want to find a freaking like studio or somewhere where I can have this space and I can decorate it however I want. And it's not in the middle of the living room or the corner of the living room. I really want to get, not that the guests that I have had on are not amazing. I think every guest that I've had on is amazing. I think every guest that I've had on we have had some type of chemistry to where we could have an entertaining episode. But with that being said, I do want a little bit higher up guests, not like A-list celebrities, or like people that have, made enough money from what they're doing to be able to live off of that, or they have a good following, just to where we can collaborate, and hopefully I can get some of that and, collaborate and, show you guys off to that person and just have good, funny episodes. Like I really want to, like I think of this podcast as like a comedy episode or a comedy podcast. Sometimes like I think people ask like, what's your podcast about or whatever, and it's like, well, it's like a comedy podcast. Every episode I try to keep it entertaining. I try to like it be funny, make you laugh, and then the last one is always be able to like learn something from it, some type of self-help. I think I've been hitting those 3 targets pretty well. I think the only one lacking is probably the self-help. I'm sure not every episode we have talked about something that would better your life or maybe motivate you to be a better person. But I don't know, maybe just me by myself makes you feel like you could be a better person. And hey, that's fine with me. So this is one of the things that I wanted to get to. I usually don't talk about politics on here, if ever. And if I do, I'm just kind of making jokes about it. But I think, like, as an American citizen, I just think that the last debate was just terrible. Like, so everybody that is not a celebrity or that is not a politician does not get to represent the country, right? So when other people look at the U.S., other countries look at the U.S., they're not looking at the people that are just like normal, mundane people. They're not looking at the people that are like running America or the people that are, working 7 days a week, 80 hours a week. They're not seeing that. They're not seeing the struggle of normal Americans, right? They're seeing the celebrities and they're seeing the politicians. For this debate, they saw 2 people just like just trying to get under the other person's skin. And I just feel like, as someone who does joke around, someone who does like to get under people's skin, someone who does like to make light of a lot of stuff, like the representation of our country the past couple years as far as our leaders and as far as our politicians have not been good. And I just feel like I need to say that just because, like, and I'm not like leaning towards one way when I say this. I'm not leaning towards the left. I'm not leaning towards the right. Like I'm like down the middle, neutral. Both sides, I feel like, have just been like lazy in just representing America the right way. Like we've had Kamala Harris. She is saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this stuff for the country. And when I get in office, I'm gonna make all this stuff happen." But it's like, why didn't you do that when you were in office? You were the vice president. I don't know how much the vice president has over the president. I don't know as much as they can do. But if they're the vice president of the country, she has to have some type of sway, okay? And then for Donald Trump, I just I don't know, man. It's just like he just doesn't know when to not talk. He just goes like, it's always like, you punch me, I'm gonna punch you right back. It's like, you punch me, as soon as you get done punching me, I'm punching you right back. Verbally. I'm sure he doesn't punch other people or whatever. But it's like, I like saw this video, and it was the introduction to, or was bits and pieces of every debate since the debate of Hillary and Donald Trump. Every single one of them were like, I'm not here to make fun of or insult my opponent. I'm here to talk about the issues at hand. I'm here to talk about what I'm going to do for this country. All respect to the other person. And that was it. I think for the one with Mitt Romney and Obama, Mitt Romney literally congratulated Obama for being there or being around the time of his anniversary with Michelle. And I will say this. I'm not even going to say I wasn't a big fan of Obama. I was too young to understand if Obama was doing anything good for the country, okay? But I will say he is probably one of the last legit presidents. He knew how to answer questions. He knew how to rebuttal. He knew how to have, I said answer questions, right? Yeah. He knew how to have press conferences. He knew how to talk to America. He knew how to do everything a president knows how to do, right? And then we have Donald Trump. And then what he did for America might have been good, might have been bad. I'm sure what he did for America, sorry, Mallory looked at me like I said something weird. But what he did for America, I like my gas being low. I like my groceries being cheap. I'm not going to lie. Who can disagree with that, okay? Brings me to the fact that Donald Trump has said a lot of stuff that he probably regrets. He has sent out a lot of tweets that he regrets. He has said a lot of stuff. He has insulted a lot of people. And I don't really like that. Is the president of the U.S., the president of the United States, the strongest country in the world, we do not need to be having a leader who is consistently and constantly insulting these people. I get it. You want to respond with negativity. You want to make the person who has the dumbest joke alive to know that they are the dumbest person alive. That is not how you do business. That is not how you act as the president of the United States. You are supposed to act strong. You're supposed to act powerful. You are supposed to act respectful. And I'm just another random person on the internet. But I think a lot of people can agree that the debate, I don't know. I feel like it wasn't a good, representation of the United States of America, arguably the best nation in the world. And am I biased on that? Yeah, I am, because I'm an American, and I'm proud to be an American. Rest in peace, Toby Keith, by the way. And then both sides, I will say this also, both sides are taking jabs at the other side. And when they do that, not only are they taking jabs, they're not talking about their issues that they're going to fix America with. They're insulting the other person. And it's like, instead of insulting the other person, like I've said, previously stated, talk about the issues. Talk about what you're going to do with America, right? And then sometimes with these insults, okay, they are not true. They are just full-out lies from both sides. Both of the news, both Fox, CNN, ABC, they both cut up stuff to make it fit their agenda. And I think a lot of people can agree on that, okay? I'm not here for you to hate on me. I'm not here for you to be like, oh, he's a Republican. Oh, he's a Democrat. I am simply here to say that the news probably corrupt, okay? If you believe everything the news is, you're going to be paranoid. You're going to be scared. You're going to be believing these lies about these other people. Like, I have no clue where people got this from, and the similarities, they're there, okay? But during the debate, there were a lot of people saying that Kamala Harris's earrings were Novia headphones. They were Novia headphones, right? And obviously, Facebook is going to go crazy with it. Twitter's going to go crazy with it. Instagram's going to go crazy with it. TikTok is going to go crazy with it. But I don't think that is true. Like, why are these people posting this stuff? And it is lies after lies after lies. It is from both sides. It is not just one side. It is not just one side doing all this bad stuff. It is both sides. And I'll be honest, man, I'm sick and tired of it. I think a lot of Americans, and I'm not speaking for Americans if you're foreign, okay? I'm simply just a guy on the internet. I think as Americans, we are just tired because we are paying taxes out of the butt. Literally everything that we pay for, everything that we get is taxed. We get taxed to out the wazoo on our paychecks. We get taxed on groceries. We get taxed on cars, on property, on boats, on anything that you buy is taxed. And the country is still messed up. This stuff is crazy. Like, I don't know how it got to here. I feel like from 2016, it has just went downhill. I feel like, okay, from 2016 to 2020, it wasn't bad. Okay, groceries were down, inflation was down, a lot of people had jobs. And then, like, from here, the past few years have not been good. I'm not going to blame it on Joe Biden, okay? Maybe I am, okay? But maybe I'm not. You don't know. But I'm just saying, like, I think everyone in the country is just fed up, man. Like, when are we going to get true leaders that care about America, that are not trying to do it just for the money? Like, people are going to say, oh, Kamala Harris. But it's like, she was in office for 4 years and didn't do anything. Another thing that kind of deters me about Kamala Harris and the Democratic Party is she was not in any way, shape, or form voted to be the Democratic nominee. She's been talking about democracy. You know, the U.S. is democracy. People vote. You know, if you want something, vote it in, right? But they are stripping people's freedoms of voting to be a Democratic nominee. Okay, not one single vote was cast. Not one American citizen voted for her to be the Democratic nominee. And that got snubbed by Bernie Sanders or somebody like RFK Jr. I don't actually know if RFK Jr. is Democratic or Republican, because I've seen people say he's both sides, but he also endorsed Trump. Breaking news, this just in, Mallory said that she thinks that RFK Jr. would have been Republican, but obviously he's not. I mean, he's not going to be the Republican nominee over Donald Trump. All I'm going to say is I just want things to be cheaper, man. I want the U.S. to be just more together. I feel like the U.S. right now is just terribly divided. But I also think that has to go. I think that also like starts with us. Like, I think a lot of the times, you know, if Taylor Swift, you know, she came out and, you know, endorsed Kamala, or, you know, Kid Rock came out and endorsed Donald Trump, like, people are going to be like, oh, I don't like them anymore because they are voting for that person, which is insane. I don't think I would, like, the people that are like, oh, I can never be friends with a liberal. Oh, I can never be friends with a conservative. It's just like, I don't know. I just think it's childish. Like, we're all living similar lives. You know, we're all paying taxes that aren't going towards anything. We at least need to be united. And I think that's probably one of the big problems in the U.S. I feel like a lot of things are united, or a lot of things are divided, excuse me. If you didn't watch the debate, it was a lot of stuff. Donald Trump was running over his time and speaking. They were both kind of insulting each other. I think Donald Trump was definitely insulting the other person, or he was insulting Kamala Harris. I think a lot of the times questions were asked, they weren't always answered. And I will say Donald Trump did that a lot. And I'm really being honest because, like, I lean probably more to the right I think a lot of people are probably in the middle with like views from both sides, but I probably lean, in the middle towards the right. But it's just, I don't know. It's just like, come on, dude. Like, just stay a little respectful, okay? That's all I ask. And the people that are sitting there like, yeah, you need to insult the other person. It's like, ugh. It's like, what? We're all supposed to be here. We're all supposed to love each other, man. We're all like, humans need other humans. We need that human interaction. If the interaction is negative, we're gonna be negative. If it's positive, we're gonna be positive. How long? Like, you think about a positive compliment that's probably longer than you do a negative compliment. I'm just saying. I really don't know what's gonna happen. What is it, November 6th? I don't even know when you're supposed to vote, but to be honest, I feel like probably not a lot will change. As far as like nothing radical is gonna change. Like, I don't know. I think people get scared that a lot of stuff has changed, and that's another thing. Like, both sides are fear mongering. Definitely, they're creating these fears for these people when they're just doing it for a vote. And I don't think that's cool. I don't think that's cool to manipulate the American citizens, the people who are, practically running the country, because, we're the ones working, we're the ones paying taxes, we're the ones doing our due diligence just to live in a small 300 square foot apartment. But that's all I'm going to say for politics. I mean, what do you guys think? How do you guys think the debate went? I mean, I'm pretty neutral on it. There were probably some key parts for both sides, and probably some negatives for both sides. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Whatever. If you want to email me, if you want to call me personally, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I have my little notebook down there, and I'm just reading points because I don't have a table to where I can have it on the computer and I can pretend to look at the camera and while I'm actually looking at the computer. It's also something I try to look at for Theo Von. But so I don't know if you guys know, but last Tuesday we were blessed and graced with one of the best podcasts on planet Earth right now. I actually messed up earlier when I said Theo Von, that his podcast was probably number one. But I'm going to, go out on a limb here and say that Hailey Welch's Talk Tuah podcast is the number one. I mean, every Tuesday we get some fun, exciting new episode that brings enlightenment to us, that makes us laugh and entertains us for about an hour to an hour and a half. And no, there was not one single speck of sarcasm in that full line. So yeah, if you haven't seen, Hailey Welch, the Hawk Tuah Girl, has made a podcast, and I think it's pretty crazy. Like, the amount of just views and fame that Hailey has gotten over the past, what has it been, like a month now, 2 months maybe? I mean, I remember like when that first came out, everybody was like Hawk Tuah on that thing, and then all the girls were like, ew, that is so gross. Who hawks Tuah? Like, who hawks the loogie? Makes me want to throw up. Makes me visibly ill. And I honestly would like to talk to Miss Hailey, and I would genuinely like to ask her if being known for like a blowjob, or like that's what it is. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Donald Trump there. Sorry, Obama. That's a funny clip. Roll it. Obama. All right, sweet. Yeah, I wonder, as a female, like, how does it feel to be known as the Hawk Tuah Girl? Like, you're known for a blowjob, which I feel like, I don't know. That's I just feel like as a female or a girl or a lady, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't want to be known as that. And I will say the marketing for the podcast is pretty good. The name of it is Talk Tuah. That is the only part of the podcast that made me laugh, was the name of it. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I did listen to all of it, just so you don't have to. So she had Whitney Cummings on for her first guest. I think she's had some other people on, but they haven't dropped yet. I'm not sure who is going to be on Tuesdays, but if I have to guess, it's going to be Jake Paul, because they did discuss that a little bit in the episode. It was an all right episode. There was a fly that kept going back and forth for a couple of seconds here and there. The setup was cool, I guess. I mean, it was obviously like the two couches or whatever, and then they had a hard cam, and then they had like a cam for Whitney, and they had a cam for Hailey. And then the hard cam, it wasn't really a hard cam. Like it would move, like it would be moved, but it would like purposely be moved. Like I think Hailey had like two dogs out in front of her, and they moved it like to the dogs to introduce them or whatever. And then also behind the camera, there was her best friend. I think her name is Chelsea, and the girl that was with her during the biggest meme of all time, as she says. And I guess their manager, Jamie, which fitting, I know, right? In the podcast community, Jamie is the guy that is not the backup, but the computer guy for Joe Rogan. So very fitting that the manager or the guy behind the camera would be named Jamie. But I don't really know. Some good shiz right there, boy. And I don't really know what Jamie's purpose is, other than being like a manager, because he was there. But I don't know. I think he definitely he gets Botox, which I think is kind of funny. I feel like it's weird as a man. You shouldn't be. I actually scratch that. As a human being, I just feel like you shouldn't be. You should have been getting Botox. I mean, Botox is going to be like the next lobotomy. Like in 100 years, they're going to look back and be like, "What were we doing?" Like there was not any enough scientific evidence to where it's like, "Oh, this is actually a good idea. We should be doing this." Because I think now like it has come out that it like moves to the side of your face or whatever, it doesn't really dissolve. And it showed like the scan of a lady who had a lot of Botox, and it was just like all spread out throughout her face. Which, yeah, I just don't think anybody should be getting Botox. I think you should, find the beauty in yourself. And I think a lot of that has to do with social media. You'll look at these these pictures on here. You'll see like Kim Kardashian, or like, Mallory laughed at that. You'll have like Kim Kardashian or Sabrina Carpenter, or like any of the big female social media influencers, celebrities. Like all their pictures are edited. They've all had work done. They all have spent hundreds and then thousands of dollars to look like that. So I don't think that any person should kind of look at that and feel sorry for themselves because they don't look like that. Because those people don't look like that. They just either using filters or editing their pictures or are doing modifications to their body that is not normal. So yeah, he has Botox. He likes to call it Brotox. That might be a little homosexual. I don't know. I'm not the judge. I'm just a random guy on the internet. And I'm not gonna say that anymore because I think I've used it enough to where it's like it's kind of cringy. I'm not, but yeah. So it was about an hour long. It's about 55 minutes. It was with Whitney Cummings. She's a comedian. She has been on, she's been on Joe Rogan. She has been on Theo Vaughn, which is insane for her very first guest to be a successful comedian. So that, ouch, that was like the other girl, the girl that had on Drake as her like third episode or something. Yeah, that I forget her name. Like Brianna, maybe? No, I'm thinking Brianna Chicken Fry. Bobby. Oh, Bobby Otloff. Yeah, Bobby Otloff. Like she didn't even get famous. Well, I guess she was somewhat famous on TikTok, but not enough to like get Mark Cuban sitting on the floor with his toes out. Like, dang, bruh. I can't be watching that video. I can only listen to audio. I'll be getting too boy. Be getting too excited over there. But yeah, the Hawk Tuah podcast, I think it's insane. It really is like I real quick, I want to read the about because I didn't really notice the about until later on. Talk to a okay. The first episode is named "I Said Hawk Tuah and Now I'm Here" with Whitney Cummings, and also they seemed like they knew each other a little bit. They did film a podcast on Whitney's podcast, so I guess that's how they knew each other from before. But it did seem like they knew each other before filming because they said that they gravitated toward each other pretty easily. All right, so this is the description of her YouTube. Okay, so this is like when people pull up her YouTube, this will be there. You can read it or whatever. I'm gonna read it out loud to you, and I just wanna see what you guys think, right? Coming off her unprecedented viral moment in the biggest meme of all time, Hailey Welch is ready to show the world that she's much more than a 30-second clip, and she's here to stay. With celebrities from all walks of life across comedy, music, sports, and pop culture looking to collaborate with the social media sensation, Hailey Welch continues her rise in charity aspirations with support from some of the biggest names in the world. Each episode of Talk Tuah will feature Hailey and her celebrity counterpart as they sit down for hilarious conversations, deep dives into stardom, and games/segments that will bring out the most candid and completely unfiltered sides of both Hailey and her guests. New episode weekly. I think they're dropping every Tuesday. And then obviously they have like a TikTok, a Twitter, and Instagram for the Talk Tuah pod. And it is powered by Better, the sports gambling thing. So yeah, just a few takeaways from the description. I don't think that she is the funniest meme of all time. And it's so funny that she's already using it's like she's using herself in the third person, but obviously it's not her. She's not like editing it or anything like that. But like I feel like you have to reach some type of tier to be talking about yourself in the third person, because I've thought about doing that too, like making clips and putting them on YouTube, for like Brandon Rhodes talks about this or whatever. But it's like I don't know. I don't see myself as like a celebrity. I mean, I'm not, obviously, but like I don't know. It's just weird. It comes off weird that she I don't know. And I'm not trying to hate. I'm really not. I think it is kind of crazy and cool that she's able to capitalize off of this as much as she's done, especially from not responding to it for like 2 to 3 weeks and then coming out with like a little mini doc. But that was crazy. But yeah, the episode, it was average. I mean, I don't think Hailey is, obviously it's her first episode. The first episode is not always going to be good, but like as of right now, I don't think she has, I don't know. I just didn't think she was funny. But like, I don't know. I think Whitney did a lot of the talking, obviously, because I just don't, I feel like Hailey doesn't have that much of a like personality to maybe to do a podcast. And then, you know, some people could say that about me. I don't know. But yeah, I watched one video where she met Sketch and like she literally didn't say, like she didn't say anything. Like Sketch was the one who had to, you know, hello brother, or you know how he says it, or Stretch or whatever. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, it's just crazy that like these people can get ultra viral like this, and then I mean it's cool that they capitalize off of it, whether you like it or not. Like obviously a lot of people are not going to like it because they would like to do that in turn, or they just see how it's silly. But I mean, I'm not trying to make you guys feel bad for me, and you shouldn't feel bad for me at all. But I'm just saying it's not fair to people who like even just other small podcasts like More Than the Masters, Sit Down with Slim, or Tommy's podcast, like all the podcasts in the Augusta area, like that's just not fair to us that we've been putting in this work. We've been doing all this stuff. We've been filming these episodes, finding these people, editing these episodes, making clips, marketing them, posting them, doing all this stuff, hours and hours of practice, hours and hours a week of this stuff to put episodes out and continuously put them out and be consistent with it and not make any money off of it and still consistently do it. sorry. She comes in, says 2 words, and now she's having Whitney Cummings on. She's having Jake Paul on. She's meeting all these celebrities. She met Dierks Bentley, was backstage. She literally went on stage with Zach Bryan and sang. And it's just like, it's just not fair. Like, she hasn't, like, I'm not trying to sit here and whine, but it's also like she hasn't put in any of the work. I think even on the episode, well, I guess this was her friend, but I'm sure, Hailey didn't do this as much either. But like, she said that like she didn't really like do social media like that. So it's like, I don't know. It's just insane because like all the people in Augusta, all of our podcasts, just think of that, and then like every somewhat big city in the U.S. or like overseas, like there's so many podcasts that like these people would do so much to get these big time celebrities on. It's like make all this money from it. Like Hailey Welch had 2 ad reads of the company Better on the podcast, and I'm sure they're supporting it. They're like funding it and all that stuff because the top right corner has a little Better tag and it says powered by Better on her Instagram podcast. So it's like, that's just crazy. These people are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on this stuff to get these celebrities on, to get these comedians on, to get these musicians on. Like Jake Paul is probably not the best boxer in the world. He's probably one of the biggest boxers in the world just because he draws millions and millions of views and makes millions of money off of it. And that was one of her first episodes. Like, sorry to like sit here and complain, but like I know for a fact, 100% fact that she is not editing these episodes. She is not marketing these episodes. She is not making clips for these episodes. The only thing she is probably doing is posting when her manager tells her to post, and also to like she probably tells her manager, like, oh, I think it would be cool to have Jake Paul on. Boom. The dude sends out an email or whatever to Jake's people and is like, she doesn't have to do any of that stuff. And I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way as a fellow podcaster. But I don't know. I just think it's crazy that, she's able to capitalize off of that. I mean, obviously I would love to be able to capitalize off of that, but I don't know. It just kind of sucks. And it is not depressing. I don't know. But it's like, dog, we've been doing this stuff for years, man. We've been doing this stuff for a while. I mean, Jermaine more than me, Slim more than me. But it's like, we should get some type of, funding or something. I don't know. What, like, am I wrong? Like, am I whining a lot? Am I complaining too much? Am I like crying you guys a river? Like, do you think, I mean, I will say the comments, I don't think there was one supportive comment. They were all just jokes about the podcast. And it's like, oh, I got to stop. The Hawk Tuah podcast is on. But I will say, Hailey, she does have some type of dog charity thing. She kind of mentioned it a little bit in the podcast. So I guess what they're trying to do is they're trying to take the worst off dogs and like give them the help they need. Some type of charity or like fundraiser or whatever. I'm sure it's just a way to avoid taxes. I'm just kidding. Some people would probably say that. Maybe it is for taxes. I don't know. But that is pretty cool that she is using her platform for somewhat good. She is like donating to these dogs that do need help. And then also what is a little crazy, she talks about the original video that went viral. I forget the dudes, the YouTube guys who posted it, but I think she asked for them to take it down a few times, and then they blocked her and then blocked like all of her friends and family, and then they made a merch store, and then I'm sure they made a lot of money off of that episode or off of that video, and they made a lot of money off the merch. She didn't get any of that, which, I mean, does she get it? Like, all she did, she made the video go viral, but she did no work for it. She didn't film it. She didn't edit it. She didn't post it. She just said something in the video that was funny. So I don't know. I don't really know who that would be up to. Do I think that them blocking her and making merch off of it? I mean, you can make merch off of it. Like, it's not a copyrighted thing, but blocking her, it's probably not cool. And then, not talking to her and taking all the money and not giving a little bit to her would probably would rub me the wrong way for sure. I'm sure that's exactly what happened. But yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think what the craziest thing is just like, she's just like a normal person. She's just like, they plucked some random civilian off of the street and gave her these followers. She has 2.5 million followers on Instagram. I don't know if that's like, I wonder if they're bot though, because there's no like, I mean, yeah, it's a crazy thing, but 2.5 million people following her on Instagram. Like, I just know that like going from YouTube to Instagram to follow somebody doesn't usually happen. But maybe that since she's a girl, that does happen. I don't know. But yeah, she has 2.5 million freaking followers on Instagram. But in my notes, I wrote it's like a real life meet and greet with this podcast. Like, she's just some random person. I'm sure when I wrote that down, I probably had like a better joke in my head, but I didn't write it down, so I don't really remember. But I mean, I kind of feel like what it is. She's just like a normal person. So it's just like every episode is like a meet and greet. Like for the famous person that's on, like, it's just like a, extensive meet and greet. I did write more. I did have more in my notes, but I don't know. I just don't want to be seen as a hater to her. Like, I think it is cool that she has done what she has been able to do, but I just don't think that it's inherently fair that she's getting all this publicity and she has really not put in any work for it. And that's just coming from someone who does put a lot of work into their craft, or like does have a lot of like I really love doing this stuff. I love, filming the podcast. I mean, and overall, I do like editing because it is a form of me to make people laugh. But like, I very like doing this a lot. I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know where she's gonna go from here. I thought maybe some people in the comments, or she had a community post on YouTube before the episode came out, talking about like, what would you like us to talk about? What are some things you would like to see? I think somebody said, like, they might have been sarcastic. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But it was like, I think you should try to do stand-up. Whitney would be a good teacher for that. And I think it would be interesting to see her do stand-up, because I don't think a lot of people would find her funny. I think it would be something similar to Brendan Schaub and how his comedy career went. Having like, what is it? I think he had both of them. Both of his specials, I'm pretty sure, are the worst rated on IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. I think it's IMDb though. But I think probably what's going to happen is probably the same thing that happens with all these other viral people. Like the dang Daniel dude, the dude from Target, all these people that have had one viral moment. They usually just go up really high and then they slowly start to decline. I would like Lil Nas X, you could group in there, but I feel like he was somewhat able to keep his virality and then turn it into an actual career. But like he does have somewhat of talent. Like, he is, an artist, so he does have a talent that, people can get behind and support. But like, she doesn't really have any. And I'm not trying to be mean. Like, it's like, she's not. I don't know. She just wasn't entertaining on the episode, and maybe I was going into it hating on it. I don't know. I don't think I was hating on it. I think I was. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little excited to listen to it, just to like, just out of curiosity. I think that will happen. Like, I think like the first few episodes are probably gonna be very highly viewed, but I think as time goes on, it's they're gonna go down, and. If I get proven wrong, that's fine. I think it would be awesome for her to be able to do that and, turn something around. Hopefully I don't end up in one of those clips where it's like a I told you so kind of thing, and it's like a montage of like everybody talking about how she's just gonna fall off or whatever. But If I am in one of those, I'm going to charge you. I'm not going to sue you or anything. I just want to get paid. So, yeah. So, also with the stand-up comedy, I do think she probably will maybe get into vlogging. That's just what a lot of white women do when they get famous. They vlog. I don't really... Another thing women do a lot is when they get famous, they do OnlyFans. I just don't think she would do it. I mean, I don't really care. I don't really watch OnlyFans. I don't have an OnlyFans or anything. So that just is something what women seem to do whenever they get really famous, because it's just another way to make money. And I mean, obviously, people want to make as much money as they can with doing a little effort. So it's probably something. But yeah, what do you like? Do y'all think I'm wrong? Do y'all think I'm right? Like, how do y'all feel about that? I would really like to see what y'all's thoughts are on like the whole, talk to a podcast thing or whatever. But yeah, dang, it's been a freaking hour and I'm freaking tired. It's 10:55 on a Friday night. I should not be filming a podcast. I should be getting drunk or like doing like a line of cocaine or something. I don't know. What do 24-year-olds do this day to hurt their body? Mallory said, hang out with my girlfriend, but I don't have a girlfriend. I have a fiance. But I will say I'm very excited for these next few episodes that are coming out. I think they're really good. Hopefully I'll have I have another R&B artist. I have a rap manager and distributor, I would say. I have competitive food eating. There's going to be a vlog with that. Definitely stay tuned. I think we're going to do something along the line of eating donuts or like the most donuts we can eat or something. We're going to have the owner of El Rey on. He's going to be on. That's going to be a fun episode. He seems like a lot of fun. We're going to have a female bodybuilder that my fiance knows, and we might do a vlog. I think we'll do a vlog with her, and we'll get Gary to film that. Isn't like I'm just going to ask him to I'm not going to force him to film it, But yeah. Who else do we have? We have somebody else, but I can't think of it right now. I think we have another rapper on. But yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. Oh, what do you guys think I should do for October? The past 2 years, I have done scary stories. I don't really know if I want to do that anymore. I don't know. It doesn't motivate. Like, October doesn't motivate me to do those stories. I probably just did that. Well, I did that so I could bank up episodes and, have as many as I do whenever, November rolls around. That screwed me last year because I was supposed to do like 5 to 8 episodes during October. I didn't do one episode. But that goes to show that in September I had filmed so much that I didn't have to film any for October, and I was still good in November. That's why you bank episodes. Also, I am going to be releasing, I don't know when, but in the next couple months, I'm going to be releasing the extra video or the extra episode that I did with Peter Echo, the owner of the Dime Museum. This episode we filmed first, but he called me and was like, hey, I don't really think people will listen to it, but it was more about Peter and his experiences and like what he has been through in life. I think that is far more interesting than the first episode the episode that is posted. I do think the episode that is posted is still an amazing episode. If you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. Definitely go to the Dime Museum as much as you can. But yeah, I think it's going to be a fun couple of months. Definitely stay tuned for the Thanksgiving episode with Trenton. We got to do it. Also, frick, I don't have him over here, but we also have another episode with Cody Widener. I know Cody freaking Widener from Estimated Freaking Principles. Oh, he's the front man, the lead singer of Estimated Principles. They just came out with a new album. Definitely go stream that. Go listen to that. We're going to be doing The Toe of Satan. I saw this when we were down in Hilton Head. I took a picture of it, posted it on my Snapchat, was like, yo, who wants to do this with me on the podcast? He said he'd do it. I bought him, but like I said, I want the 3-camera setup because I think it would be cool to have a hard cam, a camera on me for a close-up, and then a camera on for Cody, a close-up. I mean, I think that would just be better than just the one hard cam where you can't see. So yeah, that's what I would like to do with that episode. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Okay, that episode will definitely be coming up. But yeah, I'm very, very pleased with my last few episodes, and I am very excited for the next few. So if I can get behind these episodes, I hope and pray that you guys can as well. This episode is a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, thank you guys for listening to this episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, do what you want to do. Just also with the politics stuff, do your research. Honestly, just do your research. Fact check stuff. These people are going to lie to you. They're going to lie to your face. All they want is your vote, okay? They're going to manipulate, not everyone, but they're going to manipulate you into voting for them and then not do anything. It happens time and time again. So please do your research. If you think you're certain of one thing, still do your research. You never know, okay? But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. What else? There's one other thing that my manager told me to say. Oh yeah, he told me to say shirts are still available. I still have 23. I still have 23 of them. So if you'd like to purchase a shirt, I would love to send it out to you. Free shipping, okay? But yeah, thank you guys for listening for the third time. I will see you in the next episode.
Got my soul in a choke, I feel like I can't breathe. Keep my foot on the gas, my life in full speed. Feel like I